This episode of the BCMA podcast is dedicated to the memory of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery. Rest in peace. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the BCMA podcast. That's the Black Clover Martial Arts podcast. It's your boy Lucky from Lucky's Muay Thai. And holy shit, what year is it? We spent the last couple of months trying to figure out what day it is every week. Like, is Tweens Day a day? And now you look outside, you're not sure what year it is. We're going to talk about it. Also on the show, we have a great conversation with my boy, Ahmed Elbiali, a boxer I've known since he was in high school. And this dude is on the verge of a world championship. So I hope you're looking forward to that conversation. It was just cool to catch up with my boy and hear about everything he's been doing. And I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. It's been a hectic few months. I know this last week has been, some of the roughest times for a lot of us. Rest in peace, George Floyd, which kicked this thing off. But before that, Breonna Taylor and then Ahmaud Arbery. And we could just go back. So rather than waste a bunch of time talking about my personal experiences and telling you a bunch of stories, because I'm not even sure if we need to tell stories. We have video evidence of police brutality against black people, racial brutality against black people and other people as well. But right now, let's just talk about this. Because if I have to tell you stories to try to convince you that something's real when you have video evidence of it, then it's wasting my breath and then my time. And then I could be using that time in that air on more important things like trying to educate people that are younger than me, that might need to understand how important their vote or at least their ability to understand the economics in their neighborhoods. And I'd rather spend my time doing that and trying to leave some sort of legacy with my small platform. But it's something, and hopefully I'm doing some good work out here. I know there's a bunch of people out here doing good work. There's some people out here doing some real nefarious work, and there's some people that don't know what to do. First, let me address the people out there doing good work. I love y'all, man. It's beautiful. I see everybody across this country just putting it down and across around the world now. So I'm pretty stoked about seeing that. If you are out there making change and you're using your social media platforms, especially, please be conscious of not trying to police your partners and your friends that are out there trying to do the same thing because they're trying to do it in a different way than you. Everybody's reasoning for doing it and how they do it is going to be different and valid in their own way. So please be careful of that. We're all trying to move towards the same thing, so we need to stay in lockstep. Do your thing. If you are trying to ask how you can be, of use, then you can always do simple things like vote. Find out who the people are in your community that are the elected officials locally, your sheriffs, usually your mayors, all your city, commissioners, all those people. Find out who they are. Vote for your interests and the interests of your community. It's super important that your voice is heard in that way. I just decided to take this time to give a few different websites and things like that might be useful if you want to donate or if you just want information. It's better than you not having information. I see a lot of people online just posting videos of what they believe is a real thing that happened or a fake thing that happened while they're not really being active in taking part in this whole, wanting change and revolution when it comes to, policy, politics, and policing, right? The 3 Ps. So I'm not going to sit around and point a bunch of fingers without some sort of action. So I'm going to take this time in my platform to give you some websites you can go to check out. So the first one's going to be joincampaignzero.org. They are interested in breaking down police violence, stopping police violence, and there's a lot of information there, so you should go there and check it out. That's joincampaignzero.org. Like I said, tons of information there and some other resources as well. You can also go to Equal Justice Initiative. That's EJI.org. They're dedicated to ending mass incarceration and excessive punishment, and basically protecting your human rights. I know I had some friends, tell me after they've heard my stories or other people's stories, well, yeah, that happened to me too. Sort of trying to say because they were of another race, it shouldn't matter. And I, on the other hand, believe, shouldn't it matter more since it also happened to you? Anyway, that's EJI.org, the Equal Justice Initiative, dedicated to ending mass incarceration and excessive punishment. Go check them out. If you're interested in just helping out in what was going on in Minnesota, you can go to reclaimtheblock.org. There's places there you can donate. You can just check out how they're talking about changing their stance on policing, basically giving the money back to the citizens in the community, and a little more progressive ideas about taking control of their communities and making sure that they are doing policing in a way that's helpful and not hurtful. So they're wanting to put more back into the community, into the kids, into the neighborhoods, and just making things safer in general. Please go check out reclaimtheblock.org. What else we got? Oh, all right, check this out. If all of that is just too much, like I said, you can keep it simple. My boy Mickey painted this painting of George Floyd, and it's really dope, man. It's 22 by 15, and he's taking bids on it, and he's going to donate that money to a charity. He wasn't sure exactly which one yet, but you can check him out on Instagram at Mickey Lindstrom. He's also a dope tattoo artist, and you can check out his work or check him out in Miami at Indian Creek Tattoo. That's at Mickey Lindstrom and at Indian Creek Tattoo. Yo, get involved in some way. If you're going to post pictures, if you're going to, post videos of the riots, post videos of what you believe is fake news or real news or whatever the case may be, it's very difficult to take your opinions seriously if you're not trying to involve yourself in some way. You're going to have to get out there and show me that you're doing something in order for me to care about whatever videos, pictures, and otherwise that you're posting, especially if you're claiming this is this conspiracy or that conspiracy, or this was meant to do this or that was meant to do that. Listen, all of those things may be true. What the hell are you going to do about it? What are you doing? It's easy for us all to sit around and talk. I was thinking about the protests and all of that. I was fired up. I, in fact, had to be reeled back in a little bit. But I also am a single father, so I got to take care of my daughter. I can't have her out there in the midst of what might be some police violence or otherwise. So I'm going to take this time to donate to, more than likely, Reclaim the Block. I like what they were talking about. But we're going to donate $100 from Lucky's Muay Thai. Nobody has to match me. Nobody has to do anything like that. But if you have time and a couple dollars to donate, there's tons of places out there that you can go and donate some money to. And you can donate time to your community. You can get out and vote. You can help educate the youth on why it's important to be involved in the community. Because maybe you weren't, and now you're learning how important it is. Either way, all of these resources, I'm going to put them in the description below. You can watch this again so you can see me bounce around. But it's super important to me that you are out there being involved and that I took this time on this platform to be involved, because I could just talk until I'm blue in the face about nonsense. But right now, this is super important. So, Black people, I love y'all. And we are all going to get through this. Make sure you vote November 3rd. Make sure you know when your local voting is. Make sure that you take care of your family and your friends. Make sure your neighborhood is safe. And let's get off of that. I want to get into this conversation with my boy, Ahmed Elbiali. He's a great kid, man. This dude used to walk into the gym and just get busted up on the nose. This man he was just trying to make it through some way to work out in between football and in between football games and whatnot. So I hope you enjoy the conversation. And also, man, remember what I said. Get out there and make a difference in one way or another. It's up to you.
Yo, welcome back. This is my man, Ahmed Elbiali. Did I pronounce that correctly? Hell yeah. That's perfect.
This man is a good friend of mine. I got a chance to see him when he first started boxing. This man is like a fight, maybe 2 fights away from holding a world championship title in the light heavyweight division. Tell me I got all that right.
That's perfectly right, brother. Thank you.
Excellent. And you only have 1 loss, and my man, you've been putting in work. So first of all, let me just say how proud I am of you, and I'm grateful to have you on after all these years of knowing you.
Thank you. No, it's a pleasure, and thank you. I'm so grateful for being on with you, brother. Thank you.
So where are you at right now?
Right now I'm in Miami. I head back to Vegas tomorrow.
Okay. All right. So where are you training at in Vegas?
I train out of Floyd, the Mayweather gym, and another gym called City Boxing.
City Boxing. All right.
Yeah, City Boxing. I'm mostly out of. It's a great gym, great atmosphere. We'll go to Floyd's and stuff for good sparring, but you know, already know Vegas is like filled with different gyms and.
Oh, I know, man. I know. That's great. So I'm going to tell a little bit about how we met, and I'm just going to give a little bit of just insight, and then I'll let you run with it. We were at a gym in North Miami. I don't remember what the name of it was at the time, because I started, it was South Florida Boxing, and then it changed, But this fellow used to come in, and he wanted to find, I'm going to get this right. He was trying to do something in the off season for football, so he would stay in shape, right?
Yeah, that's perfectly right. Yeah.
And then in the next few months, I got to see him grow as a boxer, but mostly the nose, from getting hit in the nose. Right? Am I wrong?
You're spot on.
There's a light. I remember that just seeing you from sparring, just slow it up. But you persisted and you continued, and now you have a full-on fight career, which was not expected or planned. Right? It wasn't.
I guess it wasn't expected or planned until maybe I graduated high school and I realized football's hella rough. Not even tough. It's just really rough on the brain and the body, and I was just really undersized to, no matter what, like I was, it's just undersized. So you got your doggy in the back, huh?
Yeah, man. It's like, yo, get away from the door.
No, but yeah, but you're spot on. Yeah, it was for football, and yeah.
So what happened right after high school and you decided you were going to start boxing? How did you go? What was the trajectory there?
I don't even know I could say the trajectory, what happened, because certain people in my family don't know what happened. But let's just say I got into some trouble, and Jasmina, remember Jasmina at the gym?
Of course.
I was just broke, bro. I was broke. I finished high school. I was in some shit that I didn't know what to do. And she just called me up and said, hey, if you want to come train, I'll sneak you in every day. Just come train. And
that's beautiful. She is for real, man.
Yeah, and then ever since then, I turned pro. Like, I wasn't pro yet, but I think that's the first time, like, that was the first. I was 18, and that was when I really, really committed.
Wow, man, that's amazing.
I didn't ever want to leave the gym. I don't think the only time I've left the gym ever since is for a handbrake or, like, professional things, not because I wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, I remember all of this, distinctly. And I remember also that if anybody had something in them that showed there might be an opportunity, there was a lot of us around. A lot of us were training, a lot of us were sparring, a lot of us were fighting. But there was something a little bit different, I think, about you, because I think early, and I just spoke about this, you were taking a lot of damage. And normally, when you're taking damage like that, people quit, man. They walk out, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're like, this is not what I thought I was going to be doing. They go back to the, cardio classes. So I got to be, I made it to the pro ranks, thank goodness, at 34. I just barely made it. But I'm glad I got to see you. Yeah, I'm glad I got to see you do it at a young age. And look, man, I've known this. Nobody knows, but I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. Every now and then, I drop you a little DM message.
Oh, hell yeah.
Along the way, because I know this is a thing, man. And I just want to celebrate you, man. If there's something you want us to know coming up, I want to know about it. Like, what are your future plans in the next, let's say, 8 months? I know things are a little wild right now, but I know they're trying to set up fights. So what do you got going on?
Well, before everything happened, I fought in December. I had a little hand injury in December, and then contractually, I was supposed to fight within 6 months right after that. So that would be June. Obviously, everything kind of just happened the way it's happening, and it's still happening. We don't really know.
Right.
Top Rank supposedly just – I'm not with Top Rank, but Top Rank just held they're going to hold their first boxing event June 9th. And I just got a message from my representative saying, we got some good news, hold on tight, and we'll let you know when we know for sure. So I'm thinking – I'm not going to say what date I'm thinking. I'm not really thinking what date, but I know it's going to be sometime soon. Maybe maybe two before the year, but most likely a good one before the year.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's for a title next fight, but it's definitely a big fight.
It's coming, man.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Yeah.
You follow Eddie Hearn at all? Did you see he's doing that fight camp on his property? Yeah, I know. He's doing some kind of fight camp where he's going to put a ring in the middle of his property outside of his mansion.
No, I didn't see that, no.
Oh, yeah, man. They're going to start doing a fight camp thing where they're doing sort of like, I guess, what the UFC's kind of trying to do, where they're having their, Fight Island or whatever.
Did you see that? Did you see the last event they had?
Yes.
I saw Tyrone got his ass beat.
Yeah, man.
Tyrone Woodley, bro, and I was like,
I do too, man. I think I don't know him. I obviously have loved watching him fight over the years.
He represents American MMA. Like
I agree.
Beast, bro.
And, sometimes sometimes you might need a break. Sometimes you just got to step away for a minute, and sometimes you just got to push through the bad stuff, right? The bad times. And so hopefully he's able to. He's already 37.
He's 38.
38?
I didn't even realize that.
If you consider his age, man, he's done so much already. Like, if he was to decide, hey, I'm just going to retire, I mean, he's got a legacy. Like, he doesn't have to go out there. Yeah, it's not.
I was going to say, I wonder where they held that fight. Do you think they held it at the UFC Institute?
I believe they did.
That's so smart, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a thing now. There's a few places a few organizations that have cages already set up in locations. And now I think they're like, oh, we can just do ours there. They're collaborating with gyms or whatever that have cages. Mm-hmm. And they're like, we could just do it there. We don't need all the fans anyway. So as long as the cage is
I think there was a small amateur event down here too, right? On the 30th?
I believe so, yeah. Some people got a chance to get in there. So, we'll see some of that. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Look at you, brother. So what ultimately, what is your goal?
Ultimately, man. Of course, it's to become a world champion. It's to keep my world championship and to develop a legacy. That's what we all do it for. It's easier said than done, but I very much believe in what I say, and I'm gonna keep grinding. I'm gonna get shot in the head. I'm gonna keep coming forward.
How has everything sort of affected you? Do you have plans to use your boxing platform to do other things?
God willing, yes. I mean, God willing, it's to the greatest influence you have in this world is the effect you have on others, right? So of course it's to help, it's to make, give other kids like myself opportunities, because I was fairly unknown when I first started. So there's a lot of boys like me with a lot of great talent, whether they're from America, Africa, Asia, South America, it doesn't matter, all over the world. So there's a lot of hidden talent because they just can't get the amateur fights. They can't get recognition in some sort of way. They can't get pro fights. It was hard for me to turn pro too. I had to fight a U.S. representative. It's not a fight that most people would want to take in their first pro fight.
Right, for sure.
There's other ways to do things, and I think along the way, if God willing, I develop the name that I want to develop and become the person I want to become in the sport of boxing. There's a lot of people I can help out along the way, whether it's in boxing, MMA, kickboxing, or just outside of sports in general. Of course, outside of sports is more people are more needing of help. But yeah, absolutely, man. There's so much to be done in this world, and thankfully there is so much to be done.
Yeah, man. How who have you been working with? Who's your coach? Like who are you working with?
I'm working with I'm working with a guy named Justin Gamber. He also coaches Caleb Plant, Sugar Shane Mosley Jr., and a couple other myself and a couple other young guys on the rise. Lately in Miami, I've been training with some Russian Olympic boxing fighters, Timur Ibrahimov, Vitaly Koplenko, Otar Orensian.
Okay.
So like there's good fighters down here too, and I think thankfully the work that I've put in allows me to get invitations to gyms when things are closed and things like that. So I'm just gonna keep putting in the work, representing myself well, and yeah.
Yeah, how's your sparring been? You've been able to spar with some high level guys, and how do you feel like this is later now? This is a lot later, not later in your career, but you've put 29 fights in, something like that.
I'm 21 fights in, but along the way, I've sparred a lot of people since I've last seen you. Along the way, I've sparred Miguel Cotto, Andre Ward, Andre Durrell. I have like so many guys. I actually forgot Jermaine Taylor.
Jeez, man.
There's so I remember writing a list because there's so many that I can't remember. Badu Jack, Caleb Plant.
Dude, that's amazing, man. It's amazing. I'm glad that you've gotten that experience. I'm super excited. Like I said, every time I know that you're fighting or that something's going on with you, I'm always checking.
No, you know, right, brother. Yeah, it's awesome because I've known you for so long, and it's hard to keep that relationship, with someone for such a long time, especially if we're not constantly crossing paths and bumping into each other. So for that to happen, it's a blessing that you've been along the whole way.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, bro, it is for real. Thank you.
Yeah, man. For me personally, like when I see somebody's growing or doing great things, and especially now in the public eye, how everything is thrown out there on Instagram, and everybody's just it's a feeding frenzy. So for me personally, I like to just, if I can send a personal message and just say I'm proud of you and that kind of thing, it's much more important than jumping on I don't want to call it a bandwagon because I know everybody they care. You know what I mean? But I don't want to be.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. There's definitely more bandwagon caring individuals than caring individuals.
Right.
It's fine. That's life, and that's a good thing of life too. It's the beauty of life. That's what happens with everybody. So yeah, there's no hate, all love, but I guess more love to those that love from the start and love.
For sure.
Love when there's nothing to be loved about,
Yeah, man.
There's nothing to be loved about me when I was always gushing blood, bro.
Oh man, I used to try to tell you all kinds. I know I used to try to tell you all kinds of not nonsense, but like lessons
hey,
and all this stuff.
Your head. Yeah, dude, it's as simple as that, brother. Move your head.
Oh my God, man, those are some great days. But I think everything that happened, as far as being back in those days, I mean, a lot of us came out of that time, and we did really well for ourselves. As far as just being good people and figuring out this is what we love to do and we want to share it with people, or we want to be involved with it, to become a pro, or so we can do something with it. And I love that about that specific time in my life when I got to meet a lot of the fighters and coaches that I know now, when we are all just sort of getting going. And I love that. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you, brother. I'm proud of you too, brother. You've came a long way, man. What you've done, opening the gym and stuff like that, teaching guys, that's not easy either. That's very difficult. It's a commitment. It's a big commitment, more of a commitment than I'm making, because I'm committing to myself. You're committing to numerous individuals. You're committing to a property. You're committing financially. You're committing your whole life to this. So, and you're at a point in life where you can't take as many chances.
No, man.
As you get older, chances become more harsh to take.
And I got a 5-year-old little girl, man. She's about to be 6.
Wow,
I got to stay focused.
Yeah, so there's a lot more. I don't have any kids. There's a lot more factors that you got to deal with. So I definitely respect what you're doing, it's going to help me. You're giving me something. You're showing me that it is possible, and you're showing me that there is other ways. There's other things to do after our careers are done. Most of us fighters, we don't know what we do after,
Listen, if ever, whenever this is all done, first of all, once you get that belt around your waist, we gotta have a chat again. Just really, I'm trying to celebrate all the people that I know that worked really hard and that I admire. So we gotta have another chat. But when you come back to Miami, I definitely want to get together. Just chat it out in person. Maybe grab some dinner or whatever.
Let's get a training session in, man.
Let's get a training man, session. Look, you already know. That's all I wrote. I'm like, train? Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
You can't hurt me.
Sandwiches after.
Yes, for sure. How's the family doing?
Everyone's good, brother. My mom's always asking about you, always, and she's always, brother.
Good, man. She's a sweetheart.
Thank you.
Man, I'm just really happy to be. Her name is Nin. She is Nin, N-I-N. She's named after this girl in Thailand that used to beat up all the boys.
Awesome. So she's gonna beat up all the boys.
Man, I hope whatever she wants to do. She wants to do. I have to let her grow and do her thing, and I just gotta support,
Of course, brother. That's your blessing right there. That's your biggest blessing.
Yeah, man. Look, I love you very much. Please tell everybody where they can find you, what you want them to know. If there's anything, your Instagram, Twitter, whatever you want them to know.
Brother, you guys can find me on planet Earth. My name's Ahmed. You could easily find me. I'm the only Egyptian boxer, and other than that, I think my only advice is just keep doing y'all thing and don't give up on your dreams, and just don't give up on your dreams. Whether you don't want to work hard, if there's days you don't want to work hard, still don't give up. You don't have to work hard that day. Just wake up the next day and work hard. So just keep grinding.
Yes, sir. Keep the faith alive, man. I love it. You are so loved, my man. And we will speak again soon. We will see each other soon. Send love to the family. And I can't wait for freaking training and peanut butter sandwiches, man.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Hey, God bless you, bro. I'll see you soon.
All right, brother. Peace!
Yeah, that was my conversation with Ahmed. I love that, brother. As we spoke about before, there are things that you can do. So I'm going to just bounce out, and I'm going to leave these things for you so that you can do something. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Show and prove. All that old stuff we used to talk. It's real now. Do it.
Don't wanna complicate ya.